we have a little Star Wars in the news this week. It appears that Denis Villeneuve, or how do you pronounce his name?
Villeneuve.
Yeah, the actually awesome director. I've liked almost all his stuff. And they announced his new project as coming out on December 18th, 2026. Now, why is that important? Because there's rumors it could be Dune 3, and that date also is the same date as the Rey movie is supposed to come out. The question is, can both those franchises come out on the same day? Two, will one of them move? And three, would we ever in our lifetimes actually be able to say that it's probably Star Wars that's going to move?
If it is Dune 3, which might line up with what we've heard, since he said he did want to take a little bit of a break, but I wouldn't think he'd want to do another movie and then do that. That would almost be like a 6 year gap, probably. So, anyhow, if in fact it is, I think probably can it coexist? I think it can. I just don't think the movie going audience cares about it. Like, in other words, that kind of a atmosphere like maybe they might have 30 years ago. So I think fans would go see both. I mean, I don't necessarily see them doing repeat viewings again and again and again and again. And the way that movies come to local media, through streaming platforms and stuff, I just don't think it's as important. I don't know. I'm not a Hollywood insider. Maybe it is. It probably is a little bit of an ego thing. Maybe they just thought they'd push the issue if it is in fact Dune 3 and see if Disney wants to move off their date. But um, the one
Star
thing,
Wars moving.
yeah, no, I think the one thing that
It's
is,
like everyone always gets out of the way. When Star Wars used to name a date, everyone moved out of the way. But I think the fact that that's even a discussion, because you're right, we don't know if it's Dune 3, but I think the fact that it's even a discussion has just shown how far the franchise has fallen under Kathleen Kennedy.
it's the Ray movie, correct? That's already been plugged in.
Well, because there's two. Well, I mean that's another bad thing about Kennedy. How many how many times can you announce a movie and not put it out? I mean, we could go through a list, but just to bring up one, Patty Jenkins' uh,
X-Wing.
X-Wing movie. It's like I was hyped for that, and then it was gone, and now it's back, and now it's supposedly gone again. And it's like that's just one among many. And then they announced Ray was coming next for sure, and then there was kind of backlash to that, and all of a sudden, the Mandalorian movie's coming out next.
We really don't know what either movie is going to end up being, right? Because even the start, we've talked about it, whether or not it's a Dune movie, but what if the Star Wars movie ends up either getting moved just because they logistically had to because it's not ready yet, or they've just changed their mind and it's a different Star Wars movie.
I really wanted to talk about more of the fact of thinking that if that was true, it was a Dune 3, and if it was the Ray movie, and one had to move, because you're right, both of them are the same audience, so they're both going to go see it regardless. But just for that initial pop of who's going to have the big opening weekend, the fact that even say, well, Star Wars, we'd even think that it would be Star Wars that's moving. It's just weird. It's just a
Well,
different time.
one bad thing I think with what's come after Disney acquired the whole empire is, pun intended, is this idea that if you're just a casual moviegoer, or maybe you're familiar with a few of the movies or the property, but you haven't watched everything, it's probably not that important for you. It's just not that big of an issue, perhaps, as previous generations. I think it's been watered down. We've seen too many. They did the same thing with Marvel. I mean, they've gone overboard, I think, on that too. It's kind of watered down the quality of what's been released.
Don't even get me started on that. I was just rewatching Winter Soldier last night, and I'm sitting there watching, like, damn, it's like these were so good.
Right. Well,
But
it's a
anyways,
yeah.
anyways, okay, so let's that's our Star Wars in the news.